eyelash. She wanted to come off. It came off. I put it back down for another video, but it looks a little rogue. Rogue eyelash was rogue, but sorry about that. Yeah.
Here, thank you so much for joining me today. So in today's video, I have a no pan left behind chopping block. If you're new to me, new to my channel, new to this project, starting in January of 2021, I started the no pan left behind challenge, where I have strived to go through all of my eyeshadow palettes in my collection. I use every shade at least one time, and then I come back to you and tell you whether I would keep it or if it's going to be a declutter. And recently I've added on face palettes as well. So these videos are where I sit down and I give you my review, my thoughts, etc. on what I've used, what's staying, what's going and why and where it's going. So if it's an older palette and I want to declutter it, it will go in the garbage. If it's not an older palette and I wanted to declutter it, then it'll go to Project Beauty Share. And then normally once a quarter, I didn't have one in the third quarter because I didn't get enough chance to go through a ton of stuff to see if I was going to keep it or leave it. But normally once a quarter, I show you everything that I'm sending off to Project Beauty Share. And Project Beauty Share is a charity out of Seattle, Washington. No, Spokane. I think it's in Spokane. And they accept gently used makeup, hygiene products, etc. And then they clean the makeup and then they send it out to their partner shelters all over the United States. So a lot of shelters will take things that are brand new in the packaging, but Project Beauty Share will take things that are gently used and then they will clean it up and then you will send it. And now you can't send something like anything that has a doe foot that has touched your body, anything that has a pot that isn't sealed, so like a lotion, etc. Unless they can tell it's brand new, they don't accept anything like that. But there's a whole list and I will try to remember to link them down below. So this is just my opinion. So if I'm going to talk, if I don't like a palette that you love, that's your favorite, that's okay. We can disagree. And we all have particular tastes when it comes to eyeshadow formulas, face formulas, etc. So let's get started. The first one is this. This is the, Subversive Palette from Pat McGrath. I've already decluttered the subliminal one. This is just her little cheapy shimmer palettes. I mean, they look cheap. They were $28 and I actually bought mine for $14, which I have not been impressed by Pat McGrath. And I bought last year's Celestial Divinity, and even though this year's has kind of caught my eye, I know what I'm going to get. The mattes are and the shimmers, they're all right, but I have Give Me Glow, JD Glow, Clarity. I have Mora. I have so many great indie brands, other indie brands that aren't quite as expensive. Sydney Grace, and are as good as or better quality. So this, and initially I put this in my This Is Fantasy for ugly packaging. I'm gonna have to pick something else. But yeah, they're all right, but they're not like, I'm not gonna cry if I don't have it in my collection. Next is this one. This is the Makeup Revolution. I don't remember what this is called. I had this in my Throwback 30 and then I was like, I can't with it. It's not like the formula isn't good. It's just not a formula for me. You can see that I have pan down here in this glitter. I will probably, yeah, I'll just smush it down. I almost had pan in this one too. This glitter is absolutely gorgeous. Goes on great. This glitter, not so much. But the matte, like it has one matte and then it has 5 shimmers. The shimmers are nice. The shimmers are pretty. But I used to be, like, my makeup buying habits in the past were more. I want quantity over quality. And as I work my way through these products, I realized that I have a lot of great indie shadows and I don't have to keep around palettes like this, which are okay. They're just not great. So I'm really trying to whittle my collection down to what's great and then pass along what's not my favorite to someone who this may be their only eyeshadow palette, or maybe they only get, 2 eyeshadow palettes. Someone less fortunate, because I've been there, done that, and I wanna share, right? Instead of going in the garbage. So this is still good. I'm gonna go ahead and pass this along to Project Beauty Share as well. This one, I don't know. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Thunder. I had the hardest time with this palette. I don't know if it's the formula. I don't know if I got a dud. I don't know if it's, you know, I don't know, but it was awful. I am going to go ahead and send this along to Project Beauty Share. Someone may be able to work with it when I just didn't, or, you know, someone may be able, like, someone may be able to work with it, and I just couldn't. I just couldn't. Next, this one is the Forever Dynamic and Eternal from Makeup Revolution, and this is a pretty little palette. I think this is supposed to be a dupe of one of the Natasha Denona palettes possibly, but this pink is so flippin' pretty. Like, it's just so pretty. In fact, this is like the misty shade in the Lunar Beauty palette. It's beautiful. It's really, really pretty. Their shimmer former is really great. Their mattes are hit or miss. I think this is a really nice neutral palette, and I think someone will be able to get a whole lot of use out of it. So, off to Project Beauty Share. The next one. I put this in my favorite, like the best color palette or whatever from fall. I don't remember what I called it, but I brought up this one. This is the California Love. I hate this. This is not me. I don't like gold. I don't really love browns. I don't like these orangey yellows. So this one's not for me. This one's basically brand new. I've swatched a couple of them, and initially I didn't even think I still had this in my collection. I thought I'd given this away. Clearly, I had not. So there's nothing wrong with this formula. Like, it's ColourPop, so you know they're pretty good. These palettes are normally pretty good. It's just not a color story I like, and I could not make myself put this on my eyeballs. So this one is going to go ahead and go to Project Beauty Share. The next one from Makeup Revolution is this one. This is the Cozy Vibes palette. And this one I'm keeping around. So I am not someone who wears neutrals on the regular, but when I want neutrals, I want these kind of mauve-y cool tone neutrals. I love that you basically get half cool and half warm. So again, I don't necessarily love these neutrals, but I know that they have a place. And the mattes in here were beautiful. The shimmers are really great. You do get 2 pressed glitters that were also really well. So this is sticking around for now. This may end up, you know, I may do another round of this next year or whatever and see if I still want to keep it. But for now, this is staying in my collection. I don't know about this one, you guys. This is the Wahala, the original one from Juvia's Place. I rolled this into my deck of painting with the goal to use these 2 rolls and this blue. So I don't know if you remember when I did that silver look, my hair was pulled back and I had that really beautiful silver shimmer on my eye. That was to fix this. I could not get these shadows to go on, like, I could not get them to show up on my eye whatsoever. Look at that. They're so powdery and they're so dry. And I can't, it's like, this hand is red. We're going to use the other one, Ms. D. They're just so powdery and they're so dry. And it was just, even the shimmers, I really, really struggled. Just like struggle bus with the shimmers. And they look really pretty on your fingers. But again, once I put them on, I just couldn't get it to show up very well. So I'm on the fence about this one. This is definitely one that I'm going to hang around for a little bit, and I'm going to try to work my way through the other colors that I said I would in my deck of painting, and we'll see what happens. If I do decide to declutter this, I'll probably try to keep the multi-chromes. These 2 right here are multi-chromes, so you can see that they shift. So if I were to get rid of this palette, I would probably pull those out and like just keep what I like, depot it, keep what I like, what actually works. I mean, they're just so, and you've got 1, 2, 3 pressed glitters. Like, they're just so, do they have more multi-chromes than I thought? Yeah, they have several. But so yeah, again, I don't know if it's the formula. I normally love Juvia's Place, but this one's just not working out for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep it around, use it for a couple more weeks, and see what happens. And if I hate it, like I said, I'll depot the ones that I like, that I think work really well, and I'll just get rid of the rest of them because, yeah, no. And then last but not least, for eyeshadow palettes, we have this Big Mama Jamma. This is the Zodiac palette from BH Cosmetics. I love this palette. And even, like, this is the original one that's been out for 4 or 5 years. There's just something about BH Cosmetics Baked formula. If you can get your hands, and they normally have them like super cheap, like Galaxy, this one, there's another, or what is it called? Zodiac one that I love, that's really, really pretty. I think it's the Love one or whatever. Their baked formula is just out of this world. They're just so foiled and metallic and absolutely beautiful. Like, even, like I said, this has to be 5 or 6 years. Does this even have a date on it? It does not, but it's whenever it came out. It's just, Misty, stop swatching on this hand that has, but look how foiled those are. You don't have to wet them or anything like that. They're just absolutely gorgeous. And this is definitely one I'm going to keep around. It doesn't get a whole lot of use, but hopefully going forward, that's something I can really focus on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to clean my hand off. I'm going to use some makeup remover to get this off my hands. Let's talk about face palettes. Okay, we're going to start with this one first. Okay. I have 2 from Makeup Revolution that we're going to talk about. The first is the Revolution in Patricia Bright's. This one is a Summer Sunrise. This is too dark, too deep. The bronzer is so deep and so red. I mean, it doesn't look that bad on my hand, but on my face, holy crap. It was so, like, it was so deep. And you guys can tell, I mean, I am heavy-handed with bronzer. And so I just couldn't really make it work all that much. This blush was also not the greatest, and the highlighter is a really pretty pinky rose gold tone, but I have a whole one I'm working on in my Project A to Z, and so Beauty A to Z. So this is just it's good quality. Like, if you are someone who's a little bit darker than me, like if you have a medium skin tone, this will probably look amazing on you. But this is just a bit too deep, so I'm going to go ahead and send this to Project Beauty Share. The next one I'm going to send along with it is the Crystal Luxe palette. This bronzer is way too deep for me. And the highlight's beautiful. This blush I didn't really care for. And like I said, this bronzer is way too deep. And that's the problem with buying stuff online, especially like with Ulta, ColourPop. They never really show the true color, like on Ulta for the most part. You don't really ever really see the true color. Even if you Google for swatches, sometimes like this, not everybody has it. Or even those, like, I've seen probably 15 different people swatch the Natasha Denona Retro palette, and it looks different in every single video. And that's why I haven't bought it, because I'm like, it's a that palette's catfishing me. But anyway, so this is a little too deep. It's a really cute, nice formula. They're supposed to be probably dupes for the blush duos from Cover FX, but just not one for me. Another one that's also not for me is this one from Colored Rain. This is in Damage Control. This is also just way too deep for me. It's beautiful. The formula is beautiful. The blush is really pigmented and pretty. It's just way too deep. So this is also going to go to Project Beauty Share. So yeah, I bought this when I was doing a full face of black-owned makeup brands, and I wanted to try to do a full face as much as I could from Colored Rain, and that's why I got this. So I love the eyeshadow palette. The eyeshadow palette is beautiful, and this formula is beautiful as well. It's just a little too deep, and I don't think you can even get this anymore. Next we have this one. This is one of the newer ones in my palette. I bought this before I went on vacation, I'm pretty sure, so like back in June. This is the Fire Queen from Benefit. This was a limited edition palette, and it has the new Solstice shade. So there's Starlight and Solstice and Blaze. Maybe they were all new. I don't know. So this is the Hula, which we all know. And then I think these two were brand new, and maybe this one too. I don't know. Anyway, I love this palette. This looks beautiful on. This looks like it would be too deep, but you can really blend this out and sheer it out. and it just works really beautifully. I really love it. It's also a baked formula, which I really love. So this is definitely a palette that I'm going to hang on to and probably hopefully get some use out of in the next couple of years. The next one I have is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blushes. So I have 6 over here. No, that's 9, Misty. 9 that I depotted from a blush book several years ago. I mentioned it before. It was the one that looked like the composition notebook, and I'll try to remember to throw up a picture if I still have one. And then these were depotted from last year's holiday kit. It was the one where they were like in a stack of 3. So I depotted them. That's why some of them have gouges. I love the Amazonian Clay formula. I'm keeping all of these. These may end up being declutters if I find that I have duplicates. I know I don't have another one of these. I mean, that's bright. That's bright. But yeah, if you've never tried the Amazonian Clay formula, I really encourage you to. If you go on Tarte's website, you can buy a little, it's going in the wrong direction. You can buy little like kits, like travel size kits, and there's almost always a mini blush in one of them, and they're really good. I love that blush formula. Then we have this is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer palette. You can see I'm missing 2 powders. Danny, I depotted these and sent them along to Danny. It didn't take much to wait, is that magnet? Is that magnet? Is that a magnet? Oh, it is a magnet. Look at that. Holy damn. Okay, well then I don't have to melt it. Well, I did. I put it on some heat and it came up. So I am currently working on these in my bingo. Yeah, bingo. But this is definitely staying. I'm actually planning on painting this palette next year for Pan My Palette. Spoiler alert. I at least want to hit pan in at least 1 or 2 of these bronzers. So you'll see this more coming soon, and I can't believe they're magnetic and I didn't even realize it. Yes. Okay. So the last 3 are from Profusion. So this is the highlight and contour palette. This is a powder palette. Their face palettes, I love them. I think they're really good. This is a really good range. You've got a shimmery highlighter. You've got kind of 3, wait, is that a shimmery highlighter too? No. So you've got a shimmery highlighter, you've got 3 kind of under eye brightening shades, and you have a bronzer and a contour. This is really good. Really good quality. Profusion does face palettes really well. I actually really enjoy them. This is not something that I'm going to keep around just because I will not use these 4 powders, and I feel like that's a waste for me. So I'm going to go ahead and send this along to Project Beauty Share. The next one I'm also going to send along to Project Beauty Share is this one. This is the Profusion Contour Makeup Case. So this one is very similar, except it has 2 creams. So it has a cream kind of concealer corrector shade, and then a cream contour, and then they're powders. I've used a couple of these powders and they work really nice, but like as I said, I will never get use out of these. And then this one's a bit too deep, so I think this will really work for someone who doesn't have one. And I made sure not to touch the cream ones so they could go to a good home. So this one is going to Project Beauty Share. And then last but not least is this. This is the Blush Glow palette, Blush Glow 1, and this is beautiful. I'm keeping this for damn sure. I love this palette. It says Blush and Glow. They are glowy. You're gonna be glowy and hoey if you wear this, let me tell you. I mean, maybe you won't be hoey, but you're gonna be glowy. Really pretty. Look at it. Oh my gosh. This one reminds me of Frosé from Tarte, or even a little bit of Narga. Look at this. I'm like Ruth. I'm like, the swatcher of the century. Anyway, they're really pretty. They're really glowy. I don't know if this is still available. Sometimes you can find Profusion at Walmart. You can find Profusion at like TJ Maxx, stuff like that. And they also have a website of their own. If you go on there and you want to like spend some money, their black handle brushes are so good. I use them all the time. Why I'm talking like this, I don't know. So that's it. So we are I'm keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out, 6, 7, And I'm sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 are going, 7 are, did I say 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, Missy brain, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 7 are staying, 10 are going, 8 are going, 9 are going, however many set are going. And yeah, that's it. So this will probably go up in the next couple of weeks, and it'll probably be, I'm going to say it'll probably be closer to January, maybe the end of December, before we do another chopping blog video. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know down below if you've tried any of these and what you've thought. But that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.